All right, sir, your full name and date of birth.
Arvin Gray.
Thank you, sir. So you have three separate matters that we need to review here today. The first one is going to be a grand jury warrant that was issued. That's for an indictment filed alleging one count of child or vulnerable adult abuse, a Class 3 felony. In that matter, the Office of Public Defense Services has been appointed to represent you. We have an arraignment hearing set November 22nd at 8:30, and that will take place at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. The bond in that warrant has been affirmed. That's a $25,000 cash-only appearance bond. You also have orders not to have contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness in this matter. You do have two more matters, so the next one that I have here is going to be a bench warrant that was issued. This is for your open felony case. Looks like it was issued for failure to appear at your sentencing. So you now have a status conference November 26th at 8:30, still at the downtown Phoenix Superior Court. This was a non-bondable warrant. In other words, you're not eligible for release in this matter. That's pursuant to Rule 7.2 of the Arizona Rules of Criminal Procedure. Your third matter is going to be the new case you were just brought in on. So this will be a new case out of Superior Court. It is alleging one count of transporting narcotic drugs for sale, one count of possession of narcotic drugs for sale, both Class 2 felonies, one count of the use of an electronic device in a drug transaction, a Class 4 felony, one count of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, one count of possession of a weapon in a drug offense, both Class 4 felonies, and one count of failing to admit to carrying a weapon, which is a Class 1 misdemeanor. In that matter as well, the Office of Public Defense Services has been appointed. The court dates for this case is going to be a status conference November 21 at 8:30, evidentiary hearing November 22nd at 1:30, and a preliminary hearing November 25th at 8:30. Now, because you're on felony release in that matter, we just went over the one where you failed to appear at sentencing. Because you're in felony release in that case on the date this offense allegedly occurred and probable cause was found, you are also non-bailable in that one too. So you're not eligible for release in the last two matters we just reviewed. That's why we added the evidentiary hearing for this case. That's the hearing I'm required to set here today in order to allow the court to review those release conditions. You'll get paperwork for each individual case, but do you have any questions regarding any of these?
No.
All right. If you want to go and step over, you can go and pick that up. Thank you. All right. So we have Zachary Reeves and John McGrath up after that. All right, sir, your full name and date of birth.
Zachary Scott Reeves.
Thank you, sir. So you've got two separate cases here today we need to review. The first one is an open felony matter. There was a bench warrant issued for a failure to appear in CR 2023-102105. Your new court dates for that matter are now going to be a status conference November 21 at 8:30 a.m. with a preliminary hearing November 25th at 8:30, and those are going to be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. The bond in that warrant has been affirmed, so that's a $500 secured appearance bond. You do have a second case here. This is the new matter you were just brought in on. So this is going to be for new charges out of Superior Court. Those are one count of possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, and one count of possession of a weapon during a drug offense. That's also a Class 4 felony. The Public Defender's Office has been appointed. You have a status conference set on November 21st, evidentiary hearing November 22nd at 1:30, and preliminary hearing is November 25th at 8:30. In this matter, because you're on felony release in that first case that we just went over, at the time this offense allegedly occurred and probable cause was found here today, you are required at this time to be held without bond. So that's in the new matter, okay? And that's why we set the evidentiary hearing for that case. That's the court date we set in order to allow the court to review those release conditions. Do you have any questions regarding either matter here?
No, I don't.
All right, if you want to go and step over, go and pick up that paperwork. Thank you, sir. All right, so we have John McGrath, Danny, Roger Uribe will be up next.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hi, sir. If you could state your full name and date of birth.
John James McGrath.
Your date of birth. Thank you, sir. So you are here for a new case out of Superior Court. The count that has been submitted is one count of criminal trespass in the first degree. That is a Class 6 felony. So in that matter, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed. You have a status conference set November 21 at 8:30. Evidence or a preliminary hearing November 25th at 8:30. Those are both going to be at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix.
Okay.
Based on a review of your history as well as the nature of the charges in here, and the fact that it looks like you're going to have a second open felony case, you have a direct complaint that's pending. You're probably going to be seen on that sometime soon.
Oh.
So in this matter, you do have a bond. That's a $15,000 secured appearance bond with orders that you're not to return to the scene of the offense or have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. Do you have any questions regarding this matter?
First of all, I don't know what you're talking about. I was at Gilbert, got caught with some kind of, what did you say was what was the charge?
You're charged with criminal trespass in the first degree. And keep in mind, you do have an attorney appointed to represent you.
Well,
so
yeah,
you
but I
can
never
certainly
did
speak with
anything,
them
ma'am.
about
I
this.
never did nothing, and I'm
I
pissed
will
about
let you
it.
know, based on the Form 4 submitted, I found there was ample probable cause in your
Really?
case.
Because I went to 2 places, ran from the house because it was scary, never found the house, and then get arrested because I had, he's like, look at this house, no, I didn't.
Again, you've been appointed an attorney, so you
Nah.
can certainly speak with them.
Well,
All right, if you want to step over, you can go and pick up that paperwork, and just as a warning, you're probably going to be brought in again since you do have this other warrant that just hasn't caught up with you yet.
which one?
It's a warrant that was issued for a direct complaint that's been filed. You'll find out about it
A
as
direct
soon as you come
complaint?
back in.
Really?
Yep, so you have 2 open felony matters. So there's this one that you just came in here on, and then this direct
For
complaint.
what?
that you'll
I didn't do
be
any,
on.
all right, how many days till I'm released?
Step over
I'm sorry, how
to
many
the
days till I'm released?
side, and you can have a seat. We do have other people that we need to.
I know, how many
see
days till I'm
before
released?
them. You need to go ahead and step over. All right, so we have Danny Batos Uribe and Andrew Goodwin will be up after that.
Maybe want to organization first.
All right, so your full name and date of birth?
Danny Xavier Batras Uribe.
Thank you, sir. So you are here for a new case out of Superior Court. The charges are 1 count of aggravated DUI, wrong way driving, that's a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of endangerment, a Class 1 misdemeanor. The Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent you in this matter, and your next court dates are going to be a status conference November 21, preliminary hearing November 25th, both at 8:30, and those are going to take place at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. I've seen several of these kind of cases come in with very, very sad outcomes, and I am extremely concerned about the fact that you were out here on the I-10 driving wrong way for what they indicated was 4 to 5 miles. You were extremely lucky you didn't come in here after an accident. So in this matter, you do have a bond that's a $7,500 secured appearance bond. If you postpone and are released, it would be subject to the supervision of pretrial services. You'd also have alcohol testing and monitoring included as part of those release conditions. And in this matter, you do have orders that you're not to have contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness, and you're not to possess or consume any alcohol while on release. You'll get that information here in a moment, but do you have any questions regarding it?
No, ma'am.
All right, if you want to step over, you can go and pick up that paperwork. Thank you. All right, sir, your full name and date of birth?
It's Andrew Tyler Goodwin.
All right, thank you, sir. So you are here for a new case out of Superior Court. The charges here are 1 count of aggravated assault, impede breathing. That is a Class 4 felony. 1 count of assault, a Class 1 misdemeanor. 1 count of disorderly conduct, that's also a Class 1 misdemeanor. In this matter, based on the financial information submitted to the court, I don't show that you qualify for court-appointed counsel. If you believe that is incorrect and you should qualify, I'm happy to address that with you here today. You can always bring that up at your next court date as well. So in this matter, you do, of course, have the right to retain an attorney to represent you. You have a status conference currently set November 21, preliminary hearing November 25th, both at 8:30, and those are going to be at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. In this case, based on the nature of the charge that you are here for, specifically I'm referring to the aggravated assault impede breathing charge, you do have a bond. I will note that I did review your criminal history. I also did receive a victim impact statement that was actually supportive of you. However, I do have to take into account the fact that this is a domestic violence offense and the nature of the charges. So you do have a bond in this matter. That's a $5,000 secured appearance bond. If you were to postpone and be released from custody, it would be subject to the supervision of pretrial services with electronic monitoring, and you have orders here that you are not to return to the scene of the offense, you are not to have any contact with the alleged victim or any complainant or witness. So that does mean you would need to find an alternate residence and provide proof of that to pretrial services. If you need to go back in person because you have personal items there that you need to pick up, you can only do that using a civil standby. That is done by contacting local law enforcement. So I do just need to caution you that a violation of a no victim contact order and a criminal release order could constitute aggravated harassment. That is a Class 6 felony. If you come in on a new felony offense while being on felony release, you would be non-bondable at that point. Do you have any questions regarding this?
Is there a way to get a lower bond?
I've already given you a substantially lower bond than what was recommended from the state, and I'm not going to consider anything lower given the nature of the charge. And the only reason I did that is because of the victim impact statement that was submitted, as well as your fairly limited history. That's the only reason I'm down this low. Otherwise, I would have been significantly higher as well.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. If you want to go and step over, you go and pick up that paperwork so you can have a seat. All right, Mr. Garcia, and then we have Alexandro Gutierrez that's going to be up next.
Gail Garcia?
We have Gail Garcia. Hi, Mr. Garcia, if you could state your full name and date of birth.
Gael Garcia.
Thank you, sir. So you have 3 separate cases here today. The first one is going to be a new case out of Superior Court. So the charges there are 1 count of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, a Class 4 felony. 1 count of carrying a deadly weapon, failure to admit, that's a Class 1 misdemeanor. 1 count of carrying a deadly weapon under the age of 21, also a Class 1 misdemeanor. And then 1 count of driving on a suspended license, also a Class 1 misdemeanor. In this matter, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed. You do have a status conference set November 21 and a preliminary hearing November 25th, both at 8:30, and that's going to be at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. Based on a review of your history, including your lengthy juvenile history, which does have some gun-related charges involved already, you do have a bond in this matter, and that is a $5,000 secured appearance bond. If you post bond and are released from custody, you're still ordered not to possess any weapons while on release, which was already the case for you. Since you're on supervised probation, you do also need to contact probation within 72 hours of your release from any facility. So your 2 probation cases are also on the calendar today. They're both here today for a Term 1 violation. So in each of those matters, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed as well. You have a revocation arraignment hearing set on November 22nd at 8:30 a.m. That'll be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. And in each of those matters, the bond is going to be a $500 secured appearance bond. That ends up being $6,000 total for all 3. So if you post bond and are released, you do need to contact probation within 72 hours. Any questions regarding that?
No, Your Honor. I thank you for your leniency, and I'm sorry for my mistakes.
All right. And talk to your attorney about the charges itself, okay?
All right.
All right. So if you want to go and step over, you go and pick up that paperwork. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Gutierrez, and then DeAndres Hunter will be up after that. All right,
Hello.
so your full name and date of birth?
Alexander Gutierrez, 12.
All right, thank you. So you've got 2 separate cases here today. I believe both of these are the same. Yeah, they're both probation violation warrants that were issued. So in each of your probation matters, there's been a petition to revoke filed that alleges a violation of terms 3, 4, 5, and 15 of your probation terms. The Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent you in both matters, and you have a revocation arraignment hearing set on November 22nd. That'll be at 8:30 a.m., and those will be at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. In each of these matters, the bonds in the warrant have been affirmed. Each of them had a $1,500 secured appearance bond, so it's $3,000 total for both. If you do post bond and you are released from custody, since you're on IPS for your level of supervision, intensive probation, you do need to contact probation within 24 hours rather than the standard 72. All right, any questions regarding that?
Is that cash-only bond?
It is not a cash-only bond. Both of them are secured appearance bonds. So you are able to work with a bail bonding company in order to post those amounts.
Okay.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, sir, your full name and date of birth?
Nicholas Campo.
So you've got 3 separate cases here today. 2 of these are going to be for warrants that were issued out of the Kyrene Justice Court. In each of those 2 matters, an arraignment hearing has been set on November 19 at 8:30 a.m. The address for the court is going to be included in your paperwork. And the judge out there actually put this specifically on your warrant so that we'd know, but each of these is the third failure to appear warrant issued in those matters, so I did affirm the bond in each case. Each of them has a $150 secured appearance bond. Since I posted the bond, or I affirmed the bonds that were in the warrant, rather, I did also appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you in this matter. That's required by Rule 6.1 for the bond issue. So your next case that we have here, this is a warrant that was issued out of Superior Court, and that is for a direct complaint that was filed that alleges one count of possession of dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony. The date of offense for that matter is April 1 of 2024. So in that case, the public defender has been appointed. You have a status conference set November 21 with a preliminary hearing November 25th, both at 8:30. Those will be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. Again, the address will be provided for you. And because you got those other two bonds, I did do a bond in this. I didn't go all the way up to what was in the warrant since it's a failed summons, but you do have a $100 secured appearance bond in that one. So it's $400 total for all three. You'll get that information here shortly, but do you have any questions regarding any of these cases?
I cannot I'll just ask my attorney about all this. I don't really remember any.
All right, and I can't give you any information on the charges themselves. So if you have questions about that, that is something you'd have to speak with your attorney about. I'm only seeing you on the warrants. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, so we have Crystal Kronbach and Roger Hobbs the fourth will be up next. Hi, ma'am, your full name and date of birth?
Crystal Kathleen Kronbach.
And your date of birth. Thank you, ma'am. So you've got two separate cases here today. The first one is a bench warrant that was issued for failure to appear in your Superior Court case. So in that matter, you now have a status conference set November 21, preliminary hearing November 25th, both at 8:30, and those are going to be at the Superior Court in downtown.
Okay.
In this matter, the bond in your warrant's been affirmed, so that one's a $500 secured appearance bond. You have a second case here, which is another warrant, but this is out of a separate court. This one's out of the Goodyear Municipal Court. They'd set an arraignment hearing for you November 20 at 8:30. Still, that's at the Goodyear Municipal Court. And in that matter, I did go ahead and reduce that down to a $50 cash-only appearance bond since you already have the hold for the Superior Court case. So you'll get all that information here in a moment, but do you have any questions regarding it?
No.
All right, you want to step over? You can go and pick up that paperwork over there. Thank you, ma'am. All right, so we have Roger Hobbs and Michael McLean will be up next. All right, so your full name and date of birth?
Roger Lee Hobbs the fourth.
Thank you, sir. So you've got two separate cases here that we do need to review. The first one is going to be a probation violation warrant that was issued. That's for a petition to revoke that was filed alleging a violation of terms 6, 7, 12, and 15 of your probation terms. So the Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent you. You have a revocation arraignment hearing set November 22nd at 8:30 a.m., and that'll be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. The bond in that warrant's been affirmed, so that one has a $250 secured appearance bond. You are still on supervised probation, so if you do post these bonds and you're released from custody, you do still need to comply with all terms. That does include contacting probation within 72 hours. Looks like it's been a while, so there will be a phone number for probation that's provided in your paperwork.
Thank you.
Your next case that we have here is going to be a warrant that was issued for a direct complaint that's been filed. So that's one count of aggravated DUI, Class 4 felony. This has an offense date of September 27 of 2021. Public defender's been appointed there as well. In that case, preliminary hearing set November 21, status conference. Can we reverse this? So we have a status conference that'll be set November 21 and a preliminary hearing November 25th, both at 8:30. And in this matter, there's a $50 secured appearance bond, so it's $300 total for both. Do you have any questions regarding those?
Security deposit is that what you said? The secure deposit loan?
So it's a secured appearance bond. Normally that means you can work with a bonding company. Because your bond is so low, it's $300 total. They might not be able to do a percentage with you. That might be one where they just can't help you out, given that it's low.
It's only $300, my bill?
It's $300 for both, correct.
Total, and if I pay that today, I can get out?
If you pay that today, as long as you have no other holds. I'm not aware of any, they'll let you know if you do. As long as you have no other holds, then correct, you would be released from custody.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right? Thank
Thank
you.
you.
We have to reprint his second paperwork out because his dates were reversed. All right, you can go ahead and have a seat. We'll get that out to
Thank
you.
you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, sir, your full name and date of birth?
Héctor Abel García.
All right, sir, you are here for a new case out of Superior. I'm sorry, it's actually a warrant. This will be a new case, but it's a warrant for a direct complaint that was filed. It alleges 1 count of possession of dangerous drugs, which is a Class 4 felony, 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony, 1 count of criminal trespass in the 3rd degree, that's a Class 3 misdemeanor. So in this matter, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent you. You have a status conference December 3rd and a preliminary hearing December 5th, both at 8:30. Those will be at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. You'll get the address for that court in your paperwork. So in this matter, I am going to be following the PSA recommendation here. I do show this was a failed summons, so I don't show you necessarily received notice of the hearing set in this matter. I also recognize that the charges are about 2 years old at this point. So in this case, you are being released, but it is subject to the supervision of pretrial services. So before you go, you'll get some additional information regarding that. That includes their contact information, because you do have to stay checked in with them while on release. All right, do you have any questions regarding this?
No, Your Honor.
All right, sir, if you want to go and step over, go and pick up that paperwork and have a seat at this time.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Garcia, right?
Yeah, that's Hector Garcia. All right, Mr. Mayor. Peter Grandi will be up next. All right, sir, your full name and date of birth?
Brandon Mayer,
All right, sir, you are here for a new case out of Superior Court. The charge here is going to be 1 count of burglary in the 3rd degree. That's a Class 4 felony. The Public Defender's Office has been appointed. You have a status conference set December 3rd and a preliminary hearing December 5th, both at 8:30, and those will be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. I did review your history, and I do see that you do have some law enforcement contact, but I don't see any convictions in your history. You also don't have any failures to appear. It's for that reason only that you are being released today. And that is going to be subject to the supervision of pretrial services. You're going to receive their information there in your paperwork. So you do need to stay in contact with them while on release. You're also ordered not to return to the scene of the offense, not to have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, witness, or co-defendant who we've already had in here. All right, you were very close to getting a bond in this matter as well, okay? So I would make sure to show up to your court date because it's unlikely you're going to have a second shot. All right? Any questions?
No.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
All right, Peter Grandi, Christy Sullivan's going to be up after that. All right, sir, your full name and date of birth?
Peter Grandy,
Thank you, sir. So you're here for a bench warrant that was issued. It's for a failure to appear in CR 2024-138341. Your new court date now is a status conference November 26th at 8:30 a.m. And that'll be at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. So in this matter, I did take a look. It looks like the warrant was issued after prosecution was resumed. In other words, you were in the diversion program. They've since removed you from that, and your prosecution has been reinstated, okay? So I did look at your docket, though I don't see that you have any other failures to appear. You also didn't have any other ones listed in your criminal history.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you a shot to appear at that next court date on your own. You are being released, but it is subject to the supervision of pretrial services. You'd also have drug testing and monitoring as part of those release conditions. So you will receive pretrial services instructions in your paperwork. You just need to make sure you follow those. Do you have any questions regarding that?
No.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we have Christy Sullivan, and then Rachel Shank will be up next. Hi, ma'am, your full name and date of birth?
Christine Sullivan,
All right, ma'am, you are here for a warrant issued out of the Surprise Municipal Court in, I'm pretty sure that's not her case number, but
it was a long time ago.
hold on one second. Let me double check to see if they gave us the case number. No, I don't see it in here. It looks like we only have the warrant number that's in here. So this is for a trespassing case that's out of the Surprise Municipal
Criminal
Court.
trespass, city.
So in this matter, you have an arraignment hearing set on December 10 at 1:30 p.m. That'll be at the Surprise Municipal Court. And in this matter, based on the nature of the charge here, I am going to be releasing you to appear at that next court date on your own. You are being released on your own recognizance. It is your promise to appear with the same orders that you're not to return to the scene of the offense or have any contact with any complainant or witness.
Okay.
Do you have any questions regarding that?
Could I have an address for the court? Or,
It'll be on your paperwork.
Okay.
Yep, so along with the date and time of the hearing, you're also going to get the address for the court included.
Okay.
All right?
I'll probably need a bus pass or something to surprise. I don't know that I could get there any other way.
You might want to call them and see if they do any other types of appearances, like virtual ones. I don't know if they do. I haven't heard that Surprise does, but it doesn't hurt to call them and check and see just if it's a distance for you. Okay?
Yeah, kinda.
All right, if you want to go and step over, you can go and pick up that paperwork and have a seat.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, so we have Rachel Shank and Joseph Roscon will be up next. All right, ma'am, your full name and date of birth?
Rachel Shank for.
All right, thank you. So you were here on a probation violation warrant that was issued. This is for a petition to revoke filed alleging a violation of terms 3 and 5 of your probation terms. The public defender has been appointed. You have a revocation arraignment hearing set November 22nd at 8:30. That's going to be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. Based on the otherwise nominal bond that was provided in your warrant, as well as the fact this is the first petition to revoke, and I do recognize you're on probation for a 6 open, I am going to be releasing you today to appear at that next court date on your own. You are being released, but you are still subject to the supervision of your probation officer. You do need to contact probation within 72 hours if you're released. All right, any questions regarding that?
No, not right now.
All right, if you want to go and step over, you go and pick up that paperwork. We have Joseph Rascon and April Martinez up next. All right, sir, your full name and date of birth?
Joseph Rascon.
So you are here for a warrant that was issued out of the San Marcos Justice Court. Their case number is JC 2019-120458. They've set an arraignment hearing for you on December 3rd at 10 a.m. That'll be at the San Marcos Justice Court, the address of which will be included in your paperwork. This is a post-adjudication warrant. In other words, it's a failure to pay, failure to comply warrant. Because it is post-adjudication, I will be releasing you today. You are being released on your own recognizance. You just need to make sure you appear at that December 3rd court date or another warrant's going to issue at that time. December 3rd.
Okay.
All right. If you want to go and step over, you want to pick up that paperwork and have a seat. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, so we have April Martinez and then Andrew Black will be up after that. All right, ma'am, your full name and date of birth?
April Martinez,
All right, thank you. So you were here for a warrant that was issued. This is an out-of-county warrant, so this is out of the Central Pinal Justice Court. In that matter, they've set an arraignment hearing for you on November 20 at 8:30, and that's going to be at the Central Pinal Justice Court. They did indicate in their teletype information that this is also a post-adjudication warrant. In other words, it's going to be a failure to comply, failure to pay warrant. Because it is post-adjudication, I am willing to release you on this warrant, give you a shot to appear at that next court date on your own. You are being released on your own recognizance. That is going to be your promise to appear. So if you fail to appear at that court date on November 20, it's very likely another warrant's going to get issued for you, and you probably won't have the same luck again.
Okay.
All right, any questions regarding that?
Oh, no, thank you.
All right, if you want to go and step over, you go and pick up that paperwork. Thank you. All right, Mr. Black. All right, sir, your full name and date of birth?
Andrew Black?
All right, thank you. So you are here for a new case out of Superior Court that is alleging 1 count of possession of dangerous drugs. That's a Class 4 felony. 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. The Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent you. You do have a status conference set December 3rd. Preliminary hearing December 5th, both at 8:30. Those will be at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. I don't show that you have any other criminal history, and in light of that, I am going to be following the PSA recommendation. You are being released on your own recognizance. That is your promise to appear. Do you have any questions regarding that?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, sir.
I'll get you paperwork, so.
All right, sir, if you could state your full name and your date of birth.
Zoe Xavier Jacobs.
Thank you, sir. You are here for a grand jury warrant that was issued. This is for an indictment that was filed alleging one count of indecent exposure. That is a Class 6 felony. The offense date is September 27 of 2022. So in this matter, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent you. An arraignment hearing is set on November 22nd at 8:30, and that'll be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. Given the age of the case and a review of your history, I am going to be following the PSA recommendation. You are being released today, but it will be subject to the supervision of pretrial services. You're going to have electronic monitoring added as well. That would be installed prior to your release from the facility. You also have orders not to have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness, and not to return to the scene of the alleged offense. You'll get all that information here in a moment, but do you have any questions regarding it?
If I have Gilbert's already holding me for something else that I got picked up on.
Gilbert's got a bond on you?
Yeah, so pretty much I'm stuck there though, unless they pay that bond.
Okay, so what I can do, if you believe you're going to be in custody, particularly on November 22nd, which is coming up here in 6 days, what I can do is I can put just a bond on here, just a nominal bond on here. That way they know you're in custody in this matter as well. It's not going to change your court dates, but at least they could transport you out there if you're in custody and you don't show up as a bench warrant.
Okay.
You want me to do that?
Yeah, so what does that do?
Okay. Huh?
What does that do?
So here's what I'll do. So I'm going to add a $50 bond to your terms, okay?
Okay.
So what that means is you are then in custody for this matter as well, since you've got the Gilbert case anyway that you've got the bond on, right?
Yeah.
So you're in custody either way. Is that correct? Fair to say?
Pretty much, yeah.
All right. So since you are in custody in that other matter, I'm going to set a bond in this case in the amount of $50. That way they know you're in custody in this case. So when your November 22nd court date comes, they can transport you out there in order to attend that court date. Because if I don't put a bond on you and I release you today, and you're not going to get released, you have another hold. So you've got the Gilbert hold.
Yeah.
And because of that, they won't know that you're in custody unless I do the bond.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the reason for it, okay?
And then Mesa.
You have a Mesa hold too? Okay. Yeah, it looks like you might have a few there. Okay, so this is appropriate. So yeah, that's what we'll do. All right, so hold on 1 second. Let me go ahead and make that change here.
Can you appoint those? Can you?
I can't do anything with those cases.
Oh, you can't. 'Cause Mesa handles their own, huh?
No, so those are separate courts from what we handle in here. You have to actually go to those individual courts for those cases.
Okay.
All right. If you want to go ahead and have a seat, we're going to reprint out your paperwork, and then we'll get that over to you, okay? Thank you. All right, that's been signed again. Here in just a moment. All right, thank you, sir. Bye. All right. Ma'am, if you could state your full name, your date of birth.
Jade Anders Hunter.
All right, thank you. So you are here for a bench warrant that was issued. That's for a failure to appear in CR 2023-156006. So in that matter, you now have a status conference set on November 26th at 8:30. That'll be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. In this matter, the bond in your warrant's been affirmed, so that's a $1,000 secured appearance bond. The rest of your release conditions do remain the same at this time with respect to not returning to the scene, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. You'll get all that information in your paperwork that we'll be giving you in a second, but do you have any questions regarding this?
Am I getting released or?
You do have a bond. You have a $1,000 secured appearance bond. That is the amount that you would have to post prior to release in this matter.
Oh, okay, all right.
All right. So if you're unable to post it, you would remain in custody. You'd be transported on November 26th to attend that court date.
$1,000. Okay, this is something I keep clearing since I've been here, but, okay, this is the last time I'm gonna clear it, and then I'm gonna hire a lawyer to sue if they keep.
Looks like you are pending sentencing, so that was the failure to appear was at your sentencing. So
Okay.
that's what you need to complete.
All right,
Okay.
okay, because this has happened 3 times now that they bring up the warrant so many times. Okay, I'll just,
All right, thank you, ma'am. All right, since that was our last.